Welcome to introduction of the course, going over the syllabus. And so today in this video, we'll just go through the syllabus so that you'll have an idea of what the expectations are for the course and see where you can find a copy of the syllabus. So we'll be looking on Canvas as well. So let me share the screen with which has the syllabus on it, and we'll get started on that. All right, so here you can see the beginning of the syllabus and the course description for Christian cultural heritage and exploration of Christian cultural heritage as it relates to the student's bachelor's degree. And if you go down, will find information for disability services for all the different colleges which are available, and links to more information on those and phone numbers. So if you have need of getting in touch with them, that's the information. Also, if you need information on faculty and staff, contact information, that's available here at this link as well. And then if you want to use the services of the Academic Center for Excellence, or ACE, and there's TutorMe available. This is contact information for them. So feel free to get in touch with them. All right, as we look at this course, the purpose of the course is to explore the Christian worldview historically in the U.S. in light of popular culture to gain insights into making application of Christian teaching to the graduating seniors' major field of study in the context of the American culture. So that is the purpose of the course. Now, before I go further on this, let me share with you some things on Canvas related to this. Let me stop this and we'll share the Canvas here. Okay. So if you're on Canvas, you can go to modules. You can generally take you to the home page first. Let me just take you there. You'll see a couple of announcements at the top. Their announcement setup is a little strange, and you can't reorder the announcements easily. So sometimes they're not where I want them to be, but you can go under announcements and see the whole list of those. But here you have my personal introduction to you about myself and some information on welcoming you to class. And then if you want to see the list of announcements, it's be over in this area. And then syllabus is the one I wanted you to see. This is where you can download a copy of the syllabus and for your use, a PDF of it. Now, I also put on here in the module section another place for a syllabus, which you can also download the syllabus, but also I have it in here as well, so you can scroll through it. So that's available for you as well. So make use of the syllabus there, kind of reminds you as you go through the course when things are due. The due dates for the assignments and things down here will be available in each of the week's modules, so we'll have those. Here you see PDFs for the course, the ones I'll be going through with the presentations. If you want to print them out, they'll be available. A couple of them are released after I get started, just because there's some things in it I want to cover before you see it. And but you have here my late policy for assignments, my response time policy, and a policy on copyright things. And so there's my information is here as well. And at the bottom, you can see where I tend to be. I'm not in the office a lot because of doing most of it online. But if I need to meet with you on campus, this would be the office I would use. So keep that in mind as well. So anyway, I wanted you to see some of that before I go further into the syllabus. We'll come back in a little bit to some other things. Let me switch back over to the syllabus here. All right, so as we continue through the syllabus, course objectives on completion of this course, students will be able to, 1, demonstrate self-awareness of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges with respect to spiritual, professional, and socio-cultural goals. And we have various assessments, the discussion posts and the essay. So I won't go over each of those for each one of these, but your various assessment things will cover these. Number 2 is discuss the influence of the Christian worldview on the American culture and its influence in the student's field of study. 3, describe how particular disciplines may be developed and applied in both a spiritual and professional way for Christian service. And 4, demonstrate critical reading, thinking, and writing skills. So those are the course objectives. Course premise, philosophy, and methodology. This course reaches its didactic goals through the cooperative efforts of the professor and students. The course premise is that students learn this material best by written assignments, class discussion, research that integrate every aspect of the student's learning process. The course philosophy is that students who participate to the best of their ability in all of these areas will have greater success than those who do not. The course methodology involves written assignments designed to afford the student every opportunity to demonstrate competence in the basic understanding of the issues relative to his or her degree in the context of Christian service. The professor's responsibility is to provide a proper learning environment for the student to succeed, that is, pass, in this particular area of study. The student's responsibility include, but are not limited to, the successful completion of all assignments. These prepare the student for class participation and her or his class contribution to the material covered in the various sessions. Each student should also take a personal initiative to go beyond these assignments, seeking other available data that will, when added to the assignments, give the class a breadth and depth not otherwise available. The basic course outline for the sessions are as follow. Introduction, we're going to talk about what Christian cultural heritage is. Then Christianity's global presence in the world, Western thought and religion, discerning worldviews in a pluralistic society, Christian heritage in the US, the challenges of modern secularism, and Christian engagement of modern secularism. So the lectures will cover those areas, but they'll be broken up into parts in each week. So you'll have anywhere from 1 to 5 lectures on these, depending on just how much material needs to be covered. And we'll come back and I'll show you a little bit about that on Canvas. Resources for this course, a Bible, any version, electronic or otherwise, 2 books, Os Guinness' book, The Call, Finding and Fulfilling Your Central Purpose of Your Life. You'll have readings in it. And then you'll have and questions related on discussion board. And then Alvin Schmidt's book, How Christianity Changed the World, you'll have essays on chapters in that, as well as discussion board questions in that. So you do want these 2 books. Let me just show you on Amazon what those look like. Stop sharing here and all right, if you go to Amazon, there's two books that there's a later edition of the call, which chapters are different. So you really would be better off getting this one, but we do, I do have on there where you can see if the chapters are different for that set of readings. It should have the later edition say these are the chapters you cover with that. But if you can get this edition, and then for the other one, How Christianity Changed the World, it's available as well on Amazon. I tend to use Kindle books, or I have another app that does it for theological books called Drop Logos. So anyway, but these are the books, two books you want to be sure to get, and get as soon as possible, because your readings start really soon after the course begins. So please keep that in mind. All right, and so go back to the syllabus here. All right, there's supplemental reading. There's just a list of books that are related to this subject matter that are available for you to look at and read if you so desire, and particularly in certain areas, whatever area you might be studying, like biology, business, history, literature, those type of things, psychology, sociology, how your spirituality can relate to those. All right, course requirements and evaluation, formal assessment. Readings, you will have readings each week from your two textbooks, The Call, How Christianity Changed the World. You also have options of some Bible passages readings as well, and you'll see those in there, as well as an option for as part of the reading. And some of the questions on the discussion board may ask something about some passages and ask for your you have an option to answer those questions from those Bible readings. Questions from these readings will be a part of your interaction in the discussion area. You will be required to post your reflections on selected questions and make comments to other posts. So that dovetails with this. What we're going to talk about down here is the discussion posts, but those are your readings will be coming from those things. And we'll move over to Canvas in a minute and take a look at where these are. Lecture engagement notes for attendance. Points for this assessment reflect a student's submission of his or her notes on the content of the lectures and assigned videos. After viewing the videos, students must electronically submit either their lecture notes taken while watching the video or a written summary of at least 500 words. But that summary has to reflect the whole set of videos. So keep that in mind. This also constitutes attendance in the class. So this is how we, for an online class, this is the key to your attendance. A summary of the textbook readings does not fulfill this requirement. Simply copying the PowerPoint slides does not fulfill this requirement. So please do not, send me notes that are copies of PowerPoints or the bullet points in PowerPoint. So keep that in mind. The submission can either be of typed written notes or scans of handwritten notes. Either one is acceptable. Notes must be submitted by Sunday midnight following the week's video, and all assignments are screened by Canvas system looking for copying or plagiarism. So if you send in notes that are somebody else's notes and they have already got theirs in, it's going to be in the Canvas system and it'll come up saying these notes are the same as these notes. So don't do that. You will have formal examinations, 2 of them, 100 points each. There will be a midterm and a final exam due as according to our course calendar. These exams may consist of multiple choice, essay questions, short answer listing, and or true and false questions. drawn from the lecture material, reading assignments from the required textbooks, and assigned material designated by the instructor. Discussion posts are worth 200 points. There's going to be 8 weeks of those that take place, so 25 points each week. Students will be expected to participate in discussion board each week. And normally students will be required to make 4 posts beginning in week 2. For week 1 and for week 8, the first week and last, you're only going to have 2 posts required for the, for those weeks. The first post each week must be completed by Wednesday by basically midnight. All other posts for a given week must be completed by Sunday at 11:59. All original posts to the instructor's questions should demonstrate substantial reflection on the questions. Each of these posts must be at least 100 words long. So, we need to be able to see, want to see your reflection on the questions. So they can't be just these short little answers. Discussion posts do not constitute participation for the university's e-campus policy, but do not constitute engagement for the instructor's policy. So, but that is participation in that. It does show your involvement in class. Critical engagement papers. You have 5 of these, and so you'll have basically 5 of the weeks you'll have these critical engagement papers. So you'll need to submit a minimum 500-word paper engaging the Schmidt readings every week, beginning in week 2 through week 7. These papers will focus on the arguments and evidence presented in the reading, as well as the students' reflections on it. So don't, a lot of people give a good, summary of the arguments evidence, but they don't sometimes forget to do the reflection part. There are opportunities for 6 papers, so you can do a 6th one for extra credit, but you only have to complete the 5. And you'll look under extra credit, you'll find that's there, and under the last module, you'll find it's there if you want to do it. The reflective essay, which is a capstone assignment for the course, is worth 200 points. So it's a very important essay. This essay examines the interaction between Christianity and various worldviews and ideologies, as well as reflecting on your own worldview and how to incorporate Christian beliefs into your chosen vocation. Specific instructions will be given on Canvas to guide you through the work. So under those assignments, there's also instructions. So keep that in mind. And I realize although this is a Christian university, that we do have students that don't necessarily have a Christian worldview or have not accepted Christ, but you can still do these assignments from your worldview, and that's what I would expect. And but you may see things in the Christian perspective that might be helpful, whether you believe in it or not. Informal assessment, that basically will be some extra credit to the 6th critical engagement paper is one way, and then others will show up on Canvas under extra credit. There's one other mentioned there, or 2 others, I can't remember right now, but I may add more as time goes by. Your course grading looks like this: discussion post 200, midterm 100, final 100, critical engagement papers 200, reflective essay 200, notes for attendance and engagement with the lectures or videos there. So it's a total of 1,000 plus any extra credit you might get. All right, So the course calendar is listed here, and you can see it by weeks, the 8-week course. And I must remind you, this is an 8-week course of a course that's normally taught in a 17-week. And so that means it is quite sped up. And so you do not want to get behind. It's very hard to get caught up once you get behind when you got a course that moves this quickly with this much material. But you'll see over here that it gives you kind of a summary of the things that you will see under the modules. And we'll take a look at the modules here in a moment. Then here you got my contact information. The best way to get me is through my email here. My home number is there, my cell phone. So I can be reached that way if you need to. My response time and grading is we'll try to do that within 7 days, unless there's some issues. I would try to respond to email within 24 hours, except for possible weekends and holidays. All right, before we hit academic policies, the last section here, let me get out of this one and move back to Canvas here for a moment. And so if you get down to I talked about the PDFs of the lecture notes. If you get down here, you basically will see here on week 1, this one is only appears on week 1. This was to tell you you should get on the discussion board and introduce yourself to the class, and everybody in the class will supposed to greet you. And everybody's going to be in the same discussion group for that one. This one just gives you the objectives for what this week 1 has. That's just to let you know what we're trying to accomplish there. But the important one is your video playlist, is this one, and it will have videos. This lecture I'm doing right now on this will replace this old one from a previous semester. But you have the different presentations. Now you'll notice some of them are mine, going over the notes and lectures for the class, but I will make reference to these others that you should watch, and they should be included in your notes as well. And so keep that in mind in that. And then you have week 1 lecture engagement notes or summaries there. And here's your instructions on it, and this is where you will submit them as well. And then you got to reading and discussion topics. So when you go to this, it tells you that your lecture video presentations are things that might appear in the discussion board. Guinness the Call, chapters 1 through 4 in the early edition, the one I prefer you to use. It's there, but notice here in the 2018 edition, it would be these chapters instead. And then there's some Bible readings that may, as far as the discussion questions you can answer, can relate to these Bible readings, so you can read those and do the questions for that. So keep that in mind there. And then you get to the actual posts. So go here, you get instructions on the posts here, and then you can choose the questions to answer the number that it requires for that particular week. And so that is the basics, and each week has these sections in, except for the weeks that like have the midterm, that'll be an added section, or the final on week 8. And so that's where you find that. And then there's some course handouts, and then down here is your extra credit ones. And if these are the 2 that are there currently, there may be more added, as I said earlier. And then if you want some resources to help you on Canvas and other things, this is available for you as well. So let me move out of Canvas and go back to the syllabus here. So academic policy, attendance, please refer to the University eCampus Office attendance policy with respect to students' enrollment and financial aid. It's available on Canvas under modules and student resources. Students who do not participate in the first 14 days of class may be subject to administrative withdrawal from the course and/or financial aid consequences. Additionally, students not active or who have not participated for 21 continuous days could possibly receive an FA in the course, failure because of attendance. Late work and makeup work. Remember, this is an 8-week intensive semester course, so material is covered in half the time frame of traditional semester-long courses. This means keeping up is very important, as I mentioned earlier. Exams, discussion posts, and notes may not be submitted late unless arrangements are made with the instructor. So late submissions of these items without the instructor's consent might result in an assignment not being graded or graded at a reduced level. Excuse me. Essays may be turned in up to 2 days late without arrangements with the instructor, but each day will result in a letter grade reduction. Assignments submitted beyond 2 days may not be graded or might result in additional reductions. Because this course is only 8 weeks and students have a week to complete the assignments, I will allow makeup work only in rare occurrences. Students who desire to make up missed assignments should contact me as soon as possible to discuss the reason for makeup work and the requirements. Conduct during discussions. The vigorous investigation and discussion of class material is encouraged. Students are invited to disagree with the instructor and/or other students, such as one's true belief or interpretation. Students, however, are discouraged from being disagreeable. Entirely out of place is rudeness, bullying, ad hominem attacks, that is, attacking a person instead of refuting his or her argument. The instructor will be the final arbiter of whether the student's disagreement crosses over into unwelcome behaviors like those listed above. In such cases, the instructor might ask the offending student to reword her or his comments, or in extreme cases, ask the student to leave the online discussion. Please treat all students in the appropriate Christian manner. Grading disputes. In accordance with university policy and in order to ensure that each student's work is graded in accordance with standards that apply to the entire class, if you have a question regarding a grade, you must meet with me within 3 days after the question is graded and returned. This appeal must be in writing, but the initial request may be verbal, followed immediately by writing. No exceptions will be made to this policy. If the exam or assignment is rescored, the entire exam or project will be graded again. This means that the score may increase or decrease. Additional appeals in keeping with university policy are also available. Academic honesty. As reflected in the university's honor code and honor pledge, all members of the Faulkner community are expected to act with integrity and honesty, especially in the classroom. Claiming someone's work, words, or ideas as one's own without attribution, intentionally or not, also known as plagiarism, the use of unauthorized materials or assistance during exams or quizzes, also known as cheating, are violations of this code. Any student participating in, facilitating, or assisting in plagiarism or cheating or any other academic honor violation in this course will face academic sanctions. Penalties may range from failure on an assignment, quiz, or exam, or failure of the course, or other approved sanctions. To be clear, for any assignment in this class, you may only use the material the instructor explicitly designates as acceptable. The use of any other material, source, website, or persons during the completion of an assignment is not authorized and is an academic violation. If a student becomes aware of a violation of the academic honor code, she or he is encouraged and expected to follow the procedures listed in the student handbook, which includes informing the instructor of another student's alleged participation in academic dishonesty. Basically, the things that happen in online courses are people submitting assignment they got from somebody else as their own, and things like that. And that's where Canvas has a plagiarism system, which, you know, it has those in its memory banks that it's already received. You know, so you pick them up. It also searches the web. Does it come off the web somewhere? And then it spits out a report to me saying this much of this assignment came from this website, or this was in a paper submitted by so-and-so. So keep in mind that's there to cut down on plagiarism. Just the easy way is just do your own work. Technical difficulties and failures of technology with online course. Things happen sometimes when you're dealing with technology. Because assignments are expected to be completed online, students might run into a situation where they are unable to access materials or submission interfaces, or the system might fail in the middle of completing assignments. It is ultimately the student's responsibility to ensure that they meet the system and browser requirements necessary to access the university's Canvas system. So see the section under technology in the modules tab. If a technical issue arises during the submission or completion of an assignment, contact the instructor immediately, preferably through email, noting that what has occurred when the issue arose. The instructor will then make a determination regarding what steps need to be taken and what actions is acceptable, retaking a quiz, resubmitting assignment, etc. Because of the lead time on when assignments are due, however, students taking exams or submitting assignments at the last available time may face some sort of grade penalty if the situation warrants it. The general advice is this: don't wait until the last minute to submit online assignments in case there is some sort of technical issue. Just a good rule of thumb. Syllabus change policy. This syllabus is a guide for the course and is subject to change with advance notice. Changes to the syllabus will be communicated on Canvas, on the Canvas site, and through email. So if I do make any changes on the syllabus, I'll let you know. All right, well, I think we have covered everything for the getting started in the class, and I look forward to having you online, and I just hope the best for you in the class, and we'll go from there. So I will close out now, and thank you for being in class.